Story in La Presse this week getting a lot of attention. It's about how residents and business owners in Montreal's Petite Patrie neighborhood say a stretch behind Plaza Saint-Hubert has become a dangerous, quote, crack alley. They report incidents of drug use, prostitution, and violence just steps from their homes, some calling 911 up to 4 times a day. One resident, quoted in the piece, says his 5-year-old knows what a crack pipe and a pimp are. There's rising concerns, and Montreal police recently cracked down with raids on 2 businesses suspected of being hubs for drug trafficking. Saw this story and wanted to get a perspective on this one. Let's go to Mike Parente, who's executive director of the Plaza Saint-Hubert Business Development Corporation. Mike, thanks for coming back on the show.
Morning, Elias. Thank you for having me.
Listen, the morning this week where La Presse publishes this story, obviously you see it. What was your reaction?
Well, let's just say the title was a little shocking. Anyone who knows what the crack alley looks like downtown knows that what we're talking about here is problematic. There's nothing to hide there, but to the extent of calling it a crack alley is maybe going a little too far to start with. It's nothing that many neighborhoods in Montreal right now aren't going through. Mostly we see it on major arteries, but in our case, we're seeing it on the side streets of the Plaza Saint-Hubert, which are affecting obviously quiet residential streets, and it's causing a problem for the merchants, but the residents as well.
So how new is this? I mean, has this been just a long-standing issue, like there's always been this type of activity in the neighborhood, or is this something that has significantly changed and gotten worse of late?
I would say since the coming out of the pandemic, we started seeing a little more activity, but to the point of where it's at now, I would say it probably got it hit a tilting point probably last fall. So some residents on another street not too far from here, because that street gives to one of the exits entrance of the Jean Talon Metro. There was a meeting that was had with the people from the borough, with the police, to see what could be done. And since then, the police were extremely proactive. I gotta say that the commandant from the PDQ 35 put in an action plan to help and to solve the problem. And we were seeing some on Saint Andre, but not as prevalent. And the work that they did around the Jean Talon Metro worked. But at the same time, there was a growing problem on Saint Andre, and the police, we signaled a few things, and the residents were on Saint Andre also signaled out a few things, and the station was very, very quick to put a similar plan of action in place. More visibility, a lot more boots on the ground, even calling in for reinforcements from other stations to make sure that that there was always a visibility there. And last week, actually, before the article even came out, there were arrests made, and the 2 businesses in question that you're talking about that earlier on that seem to be the hub of all this going on. There were arrests made of individuals that have been dealing, whatever product that they're putting out there.
What's worse for business? Has it been the criminality that has been happening in the neighborhood, or is it media coverage like this? What has actually been worse for business?
Well, listen, the media coverage, like what we're seeing now, to be honest with you, is really not helping. You have independent shop owners that are working hard, to get customers to come to their shops and all that. And then we did, that sensational article like what we saw does nothing to help a situation, to be honest with you. And obviously there's a certain element of criminality, because now you have people that homeless people, and then you have people that the addicts that have certain mental health issues, and they're looking for their next fix. So obviously they're passing by certain businesses, and if there's a quick thing they can steal, well, they do it, and it puts the merchants up in arms, and with reason, because like I said, they work hard, and all of a sudden someone's coming along to get their next fix. And the problem is that the police is doing their job trying to get the criminals off the street. But then there's our whole justice system that I think needs a revision, and we also need a lot more counselors on the ground, boots on the ground, to come and help the work that the police is doing. Because if someone is using, even if you ticket them or you put them in a cell for 24 hours, they're going to have to release them. But they are not getting the help they actually need to address the problem. And until that happens, this is going to be a problem that's going to keep going around. And we may eradicate them from our neighborhood, and maybe eradicate is a harsh word, but
remove.
They may move.
Yeah.
They may move from our neighborhood and end up in a different neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't solved the problem. The problem just moved. And it's going to become another problem for another neighborhood. So, I think our different levels of government need to find better ways to get help to the people that need it, people with mental health issues, people with a housing issue, and people with a drug problem. Because as long as these people are on the streets, obviously the dealers are going to be taking advantage of these vulnerable people.
We're with Mike Parente, who is Executive Director of the Plaza Saint-Hubert Business Development Corporation. Mike, I want to go over what you just said here, because the police are making arrests. They are doing their job. It seems what you're saying is, okay, police do their job. The rest of the criminal justice system isn't doing their job. So are you seeing people that get arrested and then they come right back after being arrested?
There's people that aren't even staying 24 hours in, that they're not even being held 24 hours. They won't come back right away because they know it's a hot spot, but they'll come back a week later or 2 weeks later. And these are people that, for whatever reason, that at some point they just look at the police and they just smile at them like, you can arrest me, but I'll be out in no time. It becomes very frustrating as a situation, not only the police force, but as a society, seeing this, he's a criminal and he's being released so soon, so quickly, with substances that are affecting people's lives and taking advantage of vulnerable people. That's why I say that our governments as a whole have to review the whole process, because we can't keep asking the police to do a job, and that job seems to be like constantly turning in butter. Now,
has any business in Plaza Saint-Hubert gone out of business because of criminality?
To be very honest with you, none that have mentioned it to me.
Okay,
it's a source of irritation though for the businesses.
To wrap up here, Mike, what's your message to those who go to Plaza Saint-Hubert or who used to go to Plaza Saint-Hubert, families in the neighborhood who are now, they saw the headline, they saw crack alley and that kind of stuff, and they're hesitant to come? What's your message to people about how things really are if you go for a stroll or go shopping in Plaza Saint-Hubert?
Listen, the Plaza Saint-Hubert is still a very vibrant street with hardworking businesses that are there. It's still a fun street to walk and discover and see new businesses. Every visit brings on a new discovery. We're still the same Plaza Saint-Hubert, and we're working to keep it very safe, and it still is a safe street. And we still invite Montrealers and those from all over to continue coming to visit our shopkeepers, because they're the ones who make it such a vibrant and fun street to visit.
Mike, thanks for coming on with us this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Elias. Have a great day.
You too. That's Mike Parente. He's Executive Director of the Plaza Saint-Hubert Business Development Corporation.